So, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start with a new topic today. It's bioinformatics, but before just starting with bioinformatics, let's have a look on scientific presentations in biology. You are not satisfied with the lecture or with the presentation, and you decide you have to complain. What can you say in such a situation? You are thinking that's not believable what you've heard, and you decide to say something like that. I think you are wrong. I am sorry, I don't agree at all. Or, I simply cannot agree to this. So, this is very harsh. I think you are wrong. I am sorry, I don't agree at all. Or, I simply can't agree to this. You can of course say something in addition, and you can read this here. To my regret, I can see no way of accepting these arguments as they stand. I don't really agree. These are different possibilities. Or you can say something like here. I am entirely against this idea. I am entirely opposed to this idea. Or you can say, I am afraid your presentation leaves a great deal to be desired. Something like that might be said in such a situation. So let's have a look on beautiful bioinformatics. You know that we are specialists in many fields: body and plant science, cell biology, development. We were discussing molecular biology, zoology and animal science. We were talking on ecology, microbiology, behavior, beautiful marine biology, and for today we are reaching bioinformatics. So you know that we have to learn many words in bioinformatics, and I was just selecting a few here. You know the procedure already. It's English on the left hand side and German followed here. And I think, let me read this. Let's start with some general conclusions. Hallutolerant means hallotolerant oder salztolerant. Flowering plant is die Blütenpflanze. And we are starting with bioinformatics. To enrich, anreichern. Salt responsive, auf Salz reagierend, means at this time the array. You see this over here. Gene is das Gen. To spot, spotten. Duplicate, das Duplikat. Filter means filter. To hybridize ist auf Deutsch hybridisieren. Deoxygenen, deoxygenin. And label, die Markierung. You see here beautiful shortcuts is compared with Ablops Italiana. It's giving an array. This is the array hybridization as a graph, and you see this in colors over here. So hopefully I'm not jumping too much now. Vocabulary. Let's continue with that. To synthesize, with a beautiful H, in German, synthetisieren. To extract ist extrahieren. Plant, die Pflanze. To expose, aussetzen. Signal intensity, Signalintensität. To normalize means in German normalisieren. Acten, Aktin. To include, einbeziehen oder beinhalten. Internal control ist in German interne Kontrolle. To perform, durchführen. To average, mitteln, die Mittelwert bilden. You see over here with the legend in more detail what this is. I was saying in a brief way. It's the short course over here in Latin, Lubularia maritima. Abdopsis italiana over here. Hybrid array over here. Cluster diagram of there. And data analysis of error hybridization. You can see it over here. So let's continue with bioinformatics in itself and learn in addition something like that. Induction factor, Induktionsfaktor. Steady state ist Steady state oder auch Fließgleichgewicht. Transcript means transcript. Level, die Menge. And transcript level, die Transkriptmenge. Let's continue. To calculate means in German kalkulieren. To harvest, ernten. Amount ist in German die Menge. Tissue, das Gewebe. Significant, signifikant. And to assemble, zusammenstellen. Let's continue with that. And it's bioinformatics in itself once more. Cluster diagram means in German Cluster Diagramm. Shift, die Veränderung oder auch Verschiebung. Value, der Wert. To indicate, hinweisen. Root, in this way, die Wurzel. Tissue, das Gewebe, hatten wir bereits. To compare means in German vergleichen. And let's continue. Regulation means Regulierung. Leaf and leaves, Blatt oder Blätter. To treat, behandeln. To observe, beobachten. Exposure ist gerade die Diskussion. Exposure ist eigentlich irgendwas, Ausstattung zum Beispiel. And we would like to continue with that. Blast means blast analyse. Functional category, funktionelle Kategorie means functional category. Metabolic, metabolisch. enzyme ist das Enzym, and signaling element, Signalelement oder auch Signalverwendungselement. Defense, Abwehr oder Verteidigung. Photosynthesis, Photosynthese, hat ebenfalls mit der Bioinformatik zu tun. Protein, das Protein. And very important, protein of unknown function, Protein unbekannter Funktion. And beautiful hybridization of an array, you can see it over there. So, I would suggest you would read the text and learn more words. So, let's start with that. And you know already, blue means unknown words, or words that I think that are very, very important in this context. Black is the rest of the text. So I think I will read. The text is on analysis of seeding arrays. So, 4 sentences are waiting words, and I think I will read. Hybridization of seeding arrays is a powerful technique of molecular biology that allows the study of the expression of hundreds of genes at the same time. So, next sentence. Due to the enormous amount of data that are generated by the hybridization of seeding arrays, efficient analysis of the data with the help of bioinformatical tools are required. So, next sentence. As one example of a seeding array hybridization, a typical experiment is described in the following paragraphs. And last sentence. To analyze the effect of hyperionic serum chloride treatment and hypersonic multiple stress on gene expression, a seeding array that included 480 clones was generated, starting from a subtracted seeding library of the Helveron flowering plant Lobularia maritima, or saltgrass. So, I think many words are waiting for us, and we would like to read this now. Analysis or analysis means in German Analyse or Analysen. Seeding array is in German seeding array. Hybridization in German Hybridisierung. Gene expression, die Genexpression. Tool, das Werkzeug. And to analyze means in German analysieren. So, let's continue with the next words that are very important in that field as well. Hyperionic means hyperionisch, so den Seeding betreffend. Sodium means Natrium and chloride, Chlorid. So, die Hintergründe des Arrays eigentlich so ein bisschen vorstellend sind diese Worte. Ebenso wie Treatment, Behandlung. Hyperosmotic means in German hyperosmotisch. Mannitol means mannitol. Clone, der Klon. Or to generate is in German herstellen. So, and a few more words are waiting for us. CD library means in German CD-Bibliothek. Subtracted library, Subtraktionsbibliothek. Halotolerant means halotolerant oder auch salztolerant. And we are of course familiar with the flowering plant, in German Blütenpflanze. So, we learned a lot, and I think we continue with the next text. You see this over here, and I think I will read this. The seeding library was enriched for salt-responsive genes. Each clone was spotted and duplicated on the array. So, next sentence. Subsequently, the array filters for hybrids with stick oxygen labeled CDA. So, I think we are jumping to the secrets of the array. Next sentence, you see this over here, is the DNA for synthesis from RNA extracted from plants that were exposed to 250 mmol sodium chloride, 500 mmol sodium chloride, and 500 millimolar ammonium for 48 hours. Signal intensities were normalized to the actin signal, which was included as internal control in the array. And last sentence, each experiment was performed at least twice, and signals from 4 spots were averaged. So, of course, very, very interesting. And I would like to jump to the next vocabulary that's important in that context. To enrich means anreichern. Salt responsive, auf Salz reagierend. Let's continue with the next word, and I think they are very, very bioinformatics specific. Gene means gene. To spot is in German spotten. Duplicate, das Duplikat. Filter is in German filter. To hybridize means hybridisieren. Oxygen is in German Deoxygenin. Label ist die Markierung. Let's continue with that. To synthesize is in German synthetisieren. To extract, extrahieren. Plant, die Pflanze. To expose means aussetzen. Signal intensity, Signalintensität. And to normalize, normalisieren. Let's continue here. Actin, das Actin, especially a housekeeping gene. To include, einbeziehen oder beinhalten. Internal control ist die interne Kontrolle. To perform, durchführen. And to average, mitteln oder die Mittelwert bilden. So many words, specific both for the array itself and for arrays in general. We learned to enrich and salt responsive. We learned gene, to spot, duplicate, filter, to hybridize, dig oxygen, and label. Next words were to synthesize, to extract, plant, to expose, signal density, and to normalize. We learned the actin, oder auch Aktin, to include, internal control, to perform, and to average. So, many words that are very important in bioinformatics, and before just learning more, let's have on the very interesting text. You see this over here, and I think we read this. Induction factors of the transcript levels were calculated from stress plants and control plants that are harvested in parallel. So, next sentence. A change of transcript amounts in stress tissues with induction factors of 1.8 and more for upregulation, and induction factors of 0.5 or less for downregulation was considered to be a significant change in expression. So, next sentence that's waiting was. Changes of induction factors for all clones assembled on the array in response to stress treatments may be represented in class diagrams. In these diagrams, shifts with positive values indicate significant upregulation, and shifts with negative values show the downregulation of transcripts. So, of course, that's very interesting. So, but we will read the blue words once more. So, let's have a look on the next slide. And I think we are a little bit familiar with them already. Induction factor, in German Induktionsfaktor, steady state oder steady state in German. It's not really German, but never mind. In German it is the Fließgleichgewicht. Transcript, Level, die Menge, oder transcript level means Transkriptmenge. So, other words that we learned in the text were to calculate, kalkulieren, you see it over here. To harvest means ernten, amount, die Menge, tissue, das Gewebe, significant, und to assemble, zusammenstellen. So, very important of course, and we'll jump once more to the text and learn more words. So, 4 sentences are waiting in the slide bars, and I think I will read this. As a result of the experiment described above, in root tissue of a plant meridema, approximately 18% of the transcripts were differently expressed in response to 250 millimoles of sodium chloride compared with control plants. So, next sentence. In addition, treatment with 500 millimoles of sodium chloride and menthol caused differential regulation of approximately 50% and 15% of the genes. Next sentence. In leaves of plants treated with 250 millimoles of fluoride, only minor changes were observed. With exposure to 500 millimoles of fluoride resulted in the downregulation of more than 20% of the genes or of the transcripts. In contrast, approximately 35% of transcripts showed increased expression in response to mantle stress. So, although it's very interesting to read this in itself, we would like to concentrate on the unknown words, and I highlighted them blue once more. So, what do we need to learn? Root, die Wurzel, Tissue, das Gewebe, and to compare, vergleichen. We learned in addition, regulation, Regulierung. Leaf and leaves are very familiar to us, blood and bladder. To treat, behandeln. To observe, beobachten. And exposure, die Sequenzierung. So, I think I read this once more. We learned root and tissue to compare. We learned regulation, leaf and leaves. We learned to treat, to observe, and exposure. Hey, this is wrong once more. Exposure is not a sequenzierung. Exposure, to expose something, etwas eigentlich aussetzen zum Beispiel. So, this is definitely wrong. So, I think in the next slide there are a few more words that are waiting for us, and of course we have to learn that. I think I will start reading, and of course we focus already here on the blue words. From the clones showing different expression in response to salt and mental stress compared to non-cis plants, 180 clones were selected for sequencing and identified by database analysis using BLAST programs. So, next sentence. 124 uniquely expressed sequence sets were identified that could be grouped into 7 functional categories. Metabolic enzymes, signal elements, control of gene expression, transport, general stress responses and events. Number 6 is photosynthesis, and 7 proteins of unknown function. So I think it's very, very interesting, and of course we are waiting for the translation. I would like to postpone this to our next lecture. I'd like to stop at that point and say tschüss for that time, and let's think a little bit on bioinformatics. Tschüss.